You ready to pillage? Yeah, let's get into it. This is Kenny Stapler from PillagingJustForFun.com. I'm joined today by my co-host Raider Kane. We're coming at you with the Pillaging podcast, the companion podcast to the Raider fan site made by Raider fans for Raider fans. We out here broadcasting from the Bay Area. You can follow us on Twitter at Pillaging for Fun. That's Pillaging, the number 4, fun. You can hit us up on email, pillagingjustforfun@gmail.com. Again, that's pillaging just the number 4 fun@gmail.com. So what's up, Kane? How you been? How you living, man? Tell me what's going on.
Oh man, I've just been chomping at the bit waiting to see this game with the Texans and the Raiders, bro. That's about it, man. I've been trying to get through this bye week and just make it with no game and, you know, just hang out with the family and do some fun stuff and get ready for this upcoming Monday night, this big game we got facing us Monday night.
You know, I feel you, man. I tell you what, when we're losing, these bye weeks are like an oasis. Like, we can't lose on them. But when we're winning like this, it feels like a 4-week bye week. I'm ready to get into it.
I'm ready to get going, man. So what's up on the key for the day, man? Where we at? You think we're going to pull it out this week, or are we going to lay an egg in the toilet bowl?
You know, I'm hearing a lot of things from a lot of people from this could be a trap game to the Texans defense is stronger than we realize. And I recognize that, but I honestly think that this could possibly be the biggest blowout we've had of the season. Looking back at that Bronco game, I mean, I think the outcome could have been 40-13. Seth Roberts doesn't slip in the first quarter. We pick up a first down, score 7. We don't give up that screen at the end of the game. You're looking at a 40-13 blowout of the defending Super Bowl champions. That being said, the Texans don't scare me.
Let me say this. Let's not forget the Houston Texans are 6-3 and in first place, and they're also fighting to win their division as well. So let's not go so fast to say blowout just yet. You know, this is hey, I'm serious, man. Look, you know, we've been in bye weeks before in the past where we have been done. The season has been over.
Yeah.
Now we're coming out of a bye week with a winning record and with a team that has never come out of the bye week with a winning record. So I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do on Monday night, if they're going to come out ready, guns blazing, or they're going to come out flat.
I feel you, though. You know me, I get fired up, man. I get fired up. It is a road game. We're playing a high altitude, top 10 worst pollution city in the world. That's going to be a factor. It's going to be a factor for both teams. I like our chances, though. I respect your opinion. You know, this could be a close game. Like I said, it can go either way, but I like it. So let's go over the injury list. Who's Houston going to sit this week? Obviously, J.J. Watt, he's not playing.
Obviously, J.J. Watt is not playing. I think basically the rest of their team, except for
I see Lamar Miller's listed as active, but he's banged up. So it's gonna be interesting to see how many carries he gets.
What happened with him last week, and the way that Bill O'Brien is calling the ends of these games, and he should have just took a knee last week. Instead, he put Lamar Miller back out there to run the ball for 3 more downs while he's injured. You know, so we'll see what he's got in the tank going forward this week. He's listed on there as questionable, but looks like he's going to play. So,
yeah. That being said, you know, we know they can't lean on Osweiler. If they do, Khalil Mack's going to eat. You know, I know they're going to try to run the ball. I like our run defense this year. You know, our defense gets knocked around a lot in the media, but I like our run defense. I like our chances there. The only thing that really concerns me is our pass defense, but after last week, we're starting to see that pass rush come on. It hasn't translated into sacks yet, but the rushes and the hurries and the disruptions are there. You saw Khalil Mack outplay Von Miller last week. I think he had like 9 disruptions. He had like 5 hurries. You know, he had 2 sacks. He's got 7 in the last 6 games now. It's going to be a dirty, hard-fought battle in the trenches, I think.
It's going to be a loud, wild house on Monday Night Football. There's going to be over 100,000 fans in the stadium. It's going to be dominated by Raider fans from all over the world. It's going to be electric that night. And I can't wait to see Derek Carr get out there and light the scoreboard up like he's been doing all season. My man Derek Carr, he's been lighting it up. And Khalil Mack, 5 sacks in 4 games. He's coming on pretty strong too as well. So the Texans have got a handful to deal with this week with our defense and with Derek Carr.
We get Sean Smith back. Mario Edwards Jr. still rehabbing. I don't know if he makes it back. I don't know if he makes it back. He's definitely not back in this game. But Sean Smith is going to be a big pickup for us this week. Hopefully he's full, ready to go. I think I like what you said about the stadium. I was talking to our boy, Mex Ghost, on the blog. He lives out there in Mexico. And I asked him straight up and down. I said, Mex, what's it look like? Who's going to be in the stands? Are we looking at Raider fans? I know Mexico close to Texas, and we have Texans fans. He told me, look, this is what it is. It's Raider fans all day. It's Raider Nation out there. You got the Cowboys fans, Steelers fans. You got Raiders fans in full force out there as well. They've been out there since the 80s, since the late 70s. Like what you said, I think we're going to take over that stadium. And I know a lot of people are mad that this counts as a home game, but despite the airplane and the bus ride, I think this is really going to feel like a home game.
Oh, I don't think so, man. I think anytime you take a team away from their city, their home fans, their family, they got to get on the plane. It's an away game. No matter how you spin it, you can say it's a home game. You can put it in Mars and say we still playing at home. As long as you're not in the Oakland Coliseum, bro, you're not at home, and that's what worries me here. This is a unknown for our team. They're going out of the country. Like I said, they're coming off a bye with a winning record, and also with pressure, the pressure on them, because Kansas City and Denver pulled out last-minute victories last week when the Raider fan world, thought we were going to see the Chiefs and the Broncos with losses in the last 3 minutes. They end up winning. So now there's pressure on the team to keep winning. We cannot lose this game. This is not a game that we can just look past.
That's what I like about you, man. You don't sugarcoat nothing. Kane keeping it real, keeping me grounded. And you're one of the most passionate fans I know. So for you to stay centered like that, I appreciate that. I know our fans appreciate that. We need you to anchor this pirate ship where we don't spin out of control. So we kind of broke down the matchup a little bit. What's it going to take to win this game? What do we need to do? What's the offensive game plan look like for you on Monday?
We need to get to Brock Osweiler every time. We need to hit him, and we need to hit him hard. Khalil Mack has got to come to play. We need 3 sacks from Khalil Mack. We need those linebackers to cover the tight end. And Houston has a really good wide receiver as well. And the running game, you never know what Lamar Miller you're going to get. Yeah. So, the Raiders need to come prepared. And basically that defense is going to have to come and step it up. As far as offense is concerned, Derek Carr just needs to keep the same level head play that he's been doing all season. We need Latavius Murray, another big game from Latavius Murray. That 4 touchdown game he had last week. We're going to need another performance out of Latavius Murray like that, especially with the Texans' defensive line in disarray right now. No J.J. Watt, Clowney is a bust, and so he's not really providing much for them.
Is he a bust? Is he a bust? I haven't been watching closely. Is Clowney a bust?
Well, I mean, he's not making a name for himself like Khalil Mack is, and they both were drafted in the same draft.
That's it.
They wanted to choose who you take, Clowney or Mack. Mack, Clowney, Clowney, Mack. Well, you saw, and you see who's the star and who's just a normal, regular, everyday football player, in my opinion.
So, as our defense is starting to gain ground, I'm looking at the rankings here, and the Texans are ranked 30th in yards overall at 308, 32nd in passing yards at 187, and they're 29th in the league in points. They're averaging about 18 points a game. Contrast that with the Raiders, 5th in points. We're averaging 27 points a game. I say we break 30 in this game. We're averaging 401 yards a game. That's 5th in the league. And passing yards, 273 yards, you already know. And rushing yards bumped up to 4th in the league now after last week's strong performance. We're averaging 128 yards rushing a game. I know the Texans have one of the top ranked passing defenses in the league. So that being said, do you run the ball down their throat like we did in the Broncos game, or you go with the area assault and try to go over the top of that defense?
You know what, Kenny? I believe we can do it both ways. I actually do, because if you try to double team Cooper, then we're going to hit Crabtree. If you double team Crabtree, then we're going to hit Cooper. And let's not forget Seth Roberts in the slot. You cannot forget Mr. Touchdowns. All he does is catch touchdowns. All he does is save games. So the Houston Texans have a handful to deal with, as I said earlier. And I'm going to say again, Latavius Murray has got to have a big game. We should run the football. We need to be able to run the football. It's getting colder outside. It's that time of the year where you just want to tuck it and just bowl over all the defensive lines in the league.
Amen to that. I think this is the time to get the running game going and use the running game to open up the passing game. We haven't really had a complete game like that. It's either tilted one way or the other, getting yards in utility time, or like we saw in our last matchup, pound the rock. Kind of the first time this season we did that. So I think a balanced approach, like you're saying, is probably the best key to this win. I think we can touch them all. I think we could hurt them in all areas of their defense if we balance the attack. So I'm with you 100% on that. Defensively, you know what it is. Pin the ears back and let Mac feast. You already know what happened the last time Mac faced Osweiler. I know it was a different line and all that, but let's be honest. The Texans' offensive line, not much of an upgrade over the Broncos, in my opinion. I think Mac, this is a good time for him to get back on track and keep pushing forward. And this is a good team for the defense to take another notch forward on. I really do. I think with that offense being as weak as it is, boost a little bit of confidence and move forward into the next week. Got big games coming up against KC, Broncos, Carolina Panthers, all must-win games in my opinion. Got to get back on track this week. Got to keep it moving. Got to stay improving. And, get ready for the rest of the season because a lot of people already putting us in the playoffs. And I like it, but it makes me uncomfortable because, it's only 9 games. In my opinion, it's going to take 11 or 12 to win this division. So there's no easy task in front of us. That being said, it's not that we can win just any 4 games. We have must-win games on the schedule ahead of us. And Houston, we got to make them a crash test dummy this week. We got to do everything we can to improve those areas that need improving.
I'm looking at some stats here, and I don't see that we're going to see much from Brock Osweiler. Last week, he had 19 attempts, 70 yards, 3.7 yards an attempt.
That's trash.
That's trash. You're not gonna see much from Osweiler. They run the ball, so this defense needs to come ready to stop the run, and we're gonna have to see Carl Joseph. We're gonna see Carl Joseph down in the box making some of those big hits that he was drafted to do. We're gonna see a healthy Sean Smith hopefully come out, and we're gonna see a healthy David Amerson and Reggie Nelson all working together to shut down the Texans passing game. So basically, we need our linebackers to stay in their lane, stop the run, and we can shut down that running game, and you won't see much from Brock Osweiler at all. I promise you won't. This guy has got bust written all over him. I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans are looking for another quarterback next season.
Man, they paid him a pretty penny too. Paid him a lot of money to do a whole lot of nothing. Who's your MVP in this game? If you had to call it right now, who's your MVP?
I got to say, we need the defense to step up. We need to see this defense come out and give us a performance that says we are playoff material. We are a threat to the top team in the AFC. That would be the New England Patriots. We need Khalil Mack to come out and have a 3-sack game. 3 sacks from Mack. 3 sacks from Mack. That's what I'm going to say.
I like it. I'm going to agree with you there. I think Mack is the key to this game. I think low-key on the line, Danico Autry and Stacey McGee are a big part of this game. They're doing a good job plugging up that run game. So I think the combination of those 3 players are huge in this game. I'm with you. I think Khalil Mack MVP. I'd like to see it. He was so close in that Broncos game. Debatable, Murray or Mack in that game. It's a toss up. Being that Murray set records and all that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you and me went back and
We
forth about that.
we talked about it.
Yeah, on the block. Yeah,
You
that's
know,
right.
Murray had 21 points in that game, so you got to give it to him. But really, if I had to, I'd just give it to both of them. I'm not really going to argue that point, but I need to see Max step it up in this game and make it happen. I think he can. Obviously we know who he is, and he's a late bloomer, and it's that time of the year. It's Max season. It's time to get it.
It's time to get it.
All right,
Time to get it.
let's go backwards really quick and tell me who your surprises are this year, and tell me who your disappointments are this year.
You know, this is going to be a shock to you, as I'm going to say this player is a surprise because he really isn't a surprise, but he is. Michael Crabtree has been locked down awesome all season long. He has been Derek Carr's handcuff. He has been there. When you need a first down, Michael Crabtree is there. You need a 2-point conversion in NOLA, Michael Crabtree is there. You need a long yardage first down, Michael Crabtree is there. Michael Crabtree, even though he shouldn't be a surprise, surprised me this season.
He's lights out, bro. He's really lights out. I like that. I like that call out. I think for me this year, my biggest surprise is probably gonna be, and I jumped off my couch when we got this guy. A lot of people said don't do it. It's a reach, long shot. He's gonna get hurt. I'm gonna say my biggest surprise, even though it's not showing up on the stat sheet, is gonna be Carl Joseph. The kid doesn't make the same mistake twice. He's showing really good instincts. You're watching him get linebackers in position pre-snap. Just all these little veteran looks that this kid is showing. And he didn't even start week one. And his progression, just watching this kid progress, it's just exponential every single week. And I think down the stretch here, you're going to really see some big numbers out of Carl Joseph. I'm talking about knockdowns. His burn rate's pretty low. I'd like to see 2 more picks out of him. And when they've sent him on the blitz, the kid is a missile. Quarterbacks have been lucky that running backs have picked him up a couple times they've sent him. I like to see him get 2 or 3 sacks down the stretch here and really put it on some opposing quarterbacks. This is a kid that can force a fumble if he hits you hard enough. And I like Carl Joseph. I think there was a lot of naysayers out there. And to the point that he gets hurt, that he's going to get hurt tackling people. He never got hurt tackling people in college. NCAA is a whole different beast. He got hurt in practice. I get all of that. It was a non-contact injury. He's playing in the NFL. Players are bigger. They're faster. I get all that. But when you watch him in the game, not watching his highlight reel, which is just all big hits, I'm talking about every down, he wraps up at the legs. He's a textbook tackler. He does not put himself in harm's way. You see him line up for the big hit only when he knows he can. He got that roughness call against Tampa. I like that. I think that now he's getting a little bit more confidence. You see him lining up for the kill shot, but not on every play. I'm going to catch some flack for this, but he's not Mike Mitchell. He's not that guy that's just trying to hit you lights out. He's going to wrap you up when he has to. He'll pull you down with one hand on the jersey. I mean, this small kid has a lot of strength. He plays way bigger than his size. All these things that they told you before the draft, all these things that people didn't believe, you're starting to see it now on the field. I've been a believer since day one. My Carl Joseph jersey is in the mail. I'm rooting for this kid all the way. He's my surprise player. Who's your biggest disappointment?
My biggest disappointment would have to be Mario Edwards Jr. And I'm gonna say, you shouldn't be able to discount a guy because of injuries. You really shouldn't. But when is this guy going to stay healthy?
Yeah.
When is he going to give us that full 16 games or even 8 in a row? So I would have to say Mario Edwards Jr. is my biggest disappointment at this point right now in the season. We need him.
I respect that. And you're not coming down on him. I mean, you're like honestly just disappointed because you want to see him on the field. And I don't want anyone to get it twisted. I know exactly what you're saying. I think my biggest disappointment, and I'm going to split this. I'm going to give this to 2 guys. I'm going to break the rules here. My first one, not that I was expecting a lot out of him, But Ben Heaney, trash, bro. I mean, just where's that guy? You know?
Oh my goodness. My close the trash can. I don't even want to smell this guy anymore. This guy was awful
Yeah.
with the green. He was awful, absolutely horrible. I mean, he almost cost us the first 2 games of the season, bro. You got to look back and say the only reason he was given the privilege to have the green dot is because he was there last year. He had worked with Ken Norton Jr., last season. They had high expectations for this kid, and Kenny trusted him. Ken Norton Jr. trusted him. So he gave him the green dot, which was a big mistake. And it had people screaming, "Oh, let's get rid of Ken Norton Jr. Let's do, let's he's going to be gone by the bye week." And everybody wants to jump off a cliff, and the defense, this and that. And it was just one player. It was one player that needed to be replaced on the field, and that was Ben Haney. Let's close the trash can on this kid.
Let's close it. And then my other disappointing player, so I'm gonna break the rules a little bit. And I want to be clear, this guy was a first half disappointment. I think he's coming around. I know he's got 5 turnovers to his credit, but in the first half of the season, Reggie Nelson for me was a big disappointment. Dude looked lost out there. He was selling out. He was getting burned often. Cornerbacks turning around, looking for help. He's not there. I think Reggie Nelson was a big part of our defensive woes in the first half. The last couple games,
I'm gonna have to disagree.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that, and I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I just want to say I think that the Reggie Nelson situation, it has something to do with communication with the safeties. I mean, with the DBs as a whole, meaning that he needed to know what releases, what play were you releasing this guy, where are you releasing this guy to. I think it was just a communication thing between him and Sean Smith, really, because both him and Sean Smith started out horrible. It was, and I even was like, did we make the wrong decision?
Yeah.
Signing these 2 guys, are they a fit? But you know what it is? We was looking for Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
We were looking for old man Charles in that backfield, and he wasn't there. We had to just relax. We had to recollect our thoughts, say goodbye to Charles Woodson, say hello to Reggie Nelson, and let him get settled into that defense. And look what has happened by week 10. And I want to give a shout out to Raider Forever, because Raider Forever on pillagingforfun.com, that's our blog we blog from. I want to give a shout out to all those guys out there too. He was in Reggie Nelson's corner the whole time. He's been in this defense corner the whole time. And it's like I said before, they just needed time to gel. That's it. That's all. And by week 10, as he said, as Raider Forever said, by week 10, this team should be ready to step into the playoffs. So going forward, looking into the Houston Texans this week's Monday night game, I'm looking for the defense to give us a performance that will make us say, thank you, Reggie. Thank you, Reggie McKenzie, for putting this defense together, for giving us a playoff-style defense that we can rely on going into a tough time in our schedule, and I think some results.
Yeah. I agree with you. Like I said, I think it's a first half disappointment. Not all his fault. It takes time for these guys to come together. I think he's got it together. He's playing a lot better. Played a really great game in Denver against Denver, and I think he turns it around. I'm not trying to come down on the guy. I think he's going to be great. I have confidence in him. Just the first half, a little bit of a disappointment. You sign a guy like that coming off of 8 picks last season. Obviously, he's not going to repeat that performance, but I thought he played, under his potential the first half. But like you said, I think it's a lot of communication, learning the system, and coming together. Those are 2 brand new guys playing on the same side of the field, and I think they're starting to figure it out now. So I'm looking for good things out of Reggie Nelson right now. He's more of an honorable mention than anything. I don't want to come down to him too hard.
I agree.
Great. Let's take a quick minute, maybe go around the league and clean up the trash a little bit out there. What do you see in the NFL right now? What jumps out to you?
What jumps out to me is New England is not the team that we thought. New England is not that big bad beast that we thought New England was. That jumped out to me when Seattle came out and they beat them in the Sunday night matchup, which was actually a really good football game. So that's what I'm seeing around the league. And I'm also seeing that the league is not littered with a bunch of teams that have 7, 8 wins in their record.
Yeah.
You have literally 4 teams that have 7 wins.
Yeah.
So this league, this AFC especially, and especially the AFC West, is very condensed with just a few teams that you only have to worry about. The rest of the league is just soft, and I don't know another way to put it. If you look around, like look at the Titans' record, look at Jacksonville, teams that we thought were going to be better this year. Even that division, the division, the Colts, the Texans, the Titans, the Jaguars, that was supposed to be a top-notch division coming into the season. And look at it now. It's barely got one first-place team. So that's what I've been seeing around the league. And as far as in the NFC, Seattle is still Seattle. They're going to always be Seattle. They start off slow. They might chug along. And then when it gets around to week 10, week 11, they in full force, ready to go. And they are a Super Bowl contender. Dallas, oh, my God. Dallas is a big surprise, sitting at 8-1. Can you believe that?
Yeah. Yeah. I knew they were going to be good this year. I didn't know they were going to be that good. And, speaking to your point, I'm looking at the standings right now. 32 teams in the league. Only 11 teams have a winning record. And that seems like a lot, but when you really look at the breakdown, a lot of these teams are 5-4. They're right there hovering around 500. Like you said, there's only a few teams that are actually out there leading the pack. And out of those teams, I think only a few of them are real deal. And a lot of them, unfortunately, sit right in our lap in the AFC West. So you got 3 teams with 7 wins. But like I said, when the early critique was coming out, the Raiders ain't beat nobody. They haven't beat anybody with the winning record. Man, there ain't a lot of teams out there with the winning record. And you look at the teams that are 7 wins like us, same deal with them. They beat a lot of teams with losing records too, just because it's a numbers game. You literally, legitimately have a parity league this year. I mean, it's a lot of mediocrity out there. And so I think that critique's null and void.
Kenny, let me switch gears real quick here, and I apologize. I just want to ask you: are we going to beat Kansas City? That's the real question.
Hell yeah, we're going to beat Kansas City.
When are we going to beat Kansas City? Because that right now is the mountain that we have to climb. That's the only mountain that we have to climb.
I look at Derek Carr, and he's been able to rise to every challenge that's been put out there. He's checked off every box that everyone's critiqued about him. What I see right now is the last box on that list is beat Kansas City. This team has plagued Derek Carr. He has not played well against the Chiefs, and this has to be the game where he does it. I mean, there's no question about it. He's got to beat Kansas City. He's got no other options. I feel like if we lose to Kansas City, we're a wild card team at best. We have to beat Kansas City to get to win this division. They have to fall. I'm not looking past Denver, but KC has to fall. They play that boring, plodding, no turnover, put you to sleep style offense. We can beat this team. We beat ourselves in that last game. I mean, they were, pre-snap adjustments at the line, confusing the defense. Well, you know what? This defense has come a long way. Some people won't believe me. Some people will disagree with me. Haters are going to hate. I see it. We're Raider fans. We watch every game. We watch games multiple times. We break it down. We watch the slow-mo. I mean, I see it happening on the field. We beat Kansas City. And I think that we're a different team than we were when we played them. I think the confidence is high. The swagger is high. We're going to roll into Arrowhead, and we're going to take it away from them. They do not deserve the AFC West crown.
You said different team. I think when we played Kansas City, and this is going to sound really, really funny, but it's the truth. When we played Kansas City, we are the team that we are today. We were missing one piece of that team, Latavius Murray. We were missing Latavius Murray. It was a rainy day, and I was out there, by the way. Shout out to Hawaiian Raider and his tailgate. We love you, baby. But we were out there, and it was pouring down. It was saturated. My clothes were saturated. My shoes were saturated. And we stood out there in that rain, and we didn't get that feed. We didn't get that play. That team did not come out and look like the team that it should have looked like. So, with that being said, yeah, we still the same team. We were good. If you go back to that game, the first play of the game, or I don't want to say the first play, within the first series of the game, Derek Carr goes deep to Michael Crabtree. Marcus Peters picks it off. We scored that touchdown because there was nobody behind Crabtree. I'm assuming the ball was wet and Carr couldn't make that throw. Carr makes that throw. We go up 7-0. We win that game. We tell them immediately, you can't come in our house and do this. Instead, we turned the ball over and the downward spiral began. We couldn't run the ball. And Jalen Richard and DeAndre Washington, those are some good running backs. That good picks by Reggie McKenzie. One picked up as an undrafted free agent, a great find, but they're not Latavius Murray. We needed Latavius Murray.
Especially in the rain. You need a guy like Murray when it's raining, I don't know what to make of the talk about the young kids wearing the short cleats in that game, Carr not wearing gloves. I don't know what to make of all that. I'm not on the field. I don't know. But definitely, I think you're right. I never thought I'd hear us say that we miss Latavius Murray, but I'm a believer. This guy's fallen forward this year. He's picking up the extra 2 yards after hit. I think he had 90 yards after contact in that Bronco game. I believe you. I think with Murray and a full squad of running backs and a more confident Derek Carr and an offensive line that is beasting, we can win this game. I'm not even afraid of that game, Kane. I might be the only person. I'm not afraid of that game.
You're not afraid of the Thursday night game, huh? Okay, well,
not at all.
Let's see what they do Monday night first before we start saying whether we shouldn't be afraid of that Thursday night Week 14 game matchup, one of the probably top-notch matchups of Thursday night football in the last 10 years. Let's wait and see what we do Monday night first. We got to take down the Houston Texans. That's what we got to do. Speaking of the Houston Texans and playing in Mexico, when are we traveling to Mexico?
Man, let's make that happen.
As a team,
I don't think Mexico's ready for us, Kane.
As a team, I know, right? We get out there and we probably turn the whole town up, right? Right? But we got to still make sure the team gets there first, though, bro. I'm trying to find out when when are we traveling out to Mexico? The Oakland Raiders.
I haven't heard. I don't know. What's the normal travel days? Thursday?
Yeah, but isn't it time? What's the time zone there?
I want to say it's a 2-hour difference over there.
Oh, it's not much of a difference. Okay, all right. So that's then we really are playing close to our home time frame. So it may not be such a bad thing, but let's just see what we do out there. I'm gonna have to reserve my thoughts because, like I said, this team is coming off a bye with a winning record. They went home hot. They beat the Super Bowl champs in their division, took over first place. You did a lot in one day. You did a lot. And also you lost a lot in one day, too, on last Sunday. You moved all the way from first place. You moved from first to fifth seed. So, you got to go back out there and show that, no, we are the number one seed. And if we go out there and we beat the Texans, we will be the number one seed. So when we do play Kansas City's got to watch out for us on that Thursday night, but let's just reserve those thoughts until then.
So, it looks like I'm reading here interview that Latavius Murray had earlier this week. He said they're going to treat it just like a Denver game. They're going to leave the night before, and they're going to play the game and come back. So it looks like they're going to leave Saturday or Sunday night and get in and get out, which I don't think is a bad idea. The altitude's an issue, but I think the pollution and the air quality is a bigger issue. I don't want this team practicing down there for more than one day. I think that can really hurt them. So it looks like, they're going to go the night before, which I guess would be a Sunday.
And it's probably a much safer trip, too. You don't want to be in Mexico City too long, right?
Shout out to Barrett Robbins.
Yeah, exactly. You might get lost in the wind and the dust of some alcohol out there. You don't want to get So yeah, let's get the team out there and get them back as soon as we can.
Anything else you want to add, Kane?
No, go Raiders. Go Raiders, man.
Hell yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, I just want to say I'm proud of my team right now. It's been a long time coming. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, bro. I mean, a long time. Going back to John Gruden, going back to the Super Bowl, the years where we were winning, you know, the few little years that we had winning back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm excited. So I want to see my team go out there and not lay an egg. I want to see them put the defense together, put 60 minutes on the clock, full 60 minutes, special teams, defense, and offense working together to get a victory. That's what I want to see. That's what my thoughts are right
now. I like it. Couldn't have said it better. That being said, this is the Pillaging Podcast, the companion podcast for PillagingJustForFun.com website, Raider fan site built by Raider fans for Raider fans. We take fan article submissions all day, every day. Hit us up on the blog. That's PillagingJustForFun.com. You can follow us on Twitter at PillagingJustForFun. That is PillagingJust4Fun. And again, you can hit us on email, PillagingJustForFun@gmail.com. That's PillagingJust4Fun@gmail.com. Tell us what you agree with, what you don't agree with. You want to be a guest on the show. You got music suggestions, whatever. You want to say go Raiders, hit us up. I'm Kenny Stapler. Raiders. I'm Kenny Stapler.
I'm Raider Kane.
That's it. You can check in with us every week. We'll be here. We're out there. And that's the wrap.
Love y'all. Peace out.
Go Raiders.